Have you ever been too tired to do anything but keep things under control? We can't always be successful and happy because we try to control everything too much. Rich investor Warren Buffett once said, "Time is the only thing that can't be bought, so it's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of sacrifice." To put it another way, I can get anything I want except time. We all have time that is worth a lot, and Warren Buffett and other billionaires like Bill Gates have shown us that doing less can get you more. They give up some of the things they used to do every day to focus on what really matters. This helps them meet their goals and makes room for good things to happen on their own. Join us on this journey today to learn more about this art form. In our video, we'll look at how to apply the "don't force it" principle to all parts of life, from work to relationships to ourselves. If you're up for the challenge, watch the whole video and don't skip any of the 5 principles. Each one will help you understand how to let life flow naturally without forcing or rushing. Leave a note that says, "I'll take the challenge and not give up." Principle number 1. Keeping hold of bad things will make the pain worse. In this life, it's important to keep your body and mind healthy. Stoicism is a philosophy that provides great mental strength because it encourages us to accept and not fight things we can't change. This leads to peace and good emotional control, especially when it comes to letting go of harmful things. Stoicism not only frees us from unnecessary stress, but it also leads us to a happier and more fulfilled life. Imagine putting a lot of passion and effort into a project, a relationship, or a hobby. At first, everything seems to be going as planned, but over time you realize that things aren't going as planned. The project fails to produce results, the relationship gets tense, and the hobby loses its joy. This is when you feel stunned. Emperor Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events." This will give you strength. It's never too late to give up a bad habit, a bad relationship, or a project that doesn't work anymore. Emma was a designer who worked hard for many years to create a line of products that she truly believed in. She put a lot of time and effort into the project, and she was creative in every way, from the first designs to the final marketing plans. Even though she worked hard on the line and there was a lot of excitement around the launch, it didn't connect with her target audience. Sales were slow, and the response wasn't as positive as she had hoped. Emma was up all night every night, struggling with the thought that her project might never work out the way she had hoped. The thought of giving up on something he had put so much work into was heartbreaking. But Emma knew that keeping putting time, money, and effort into a project that wasn't working would only lead to more disappointment and drain her creative spirit. Emma made the hard decision to stop making this product line after giving it a lot of thought and having some emotional talks with her advisors and co-workers. It was a painful choice, but she knew it had to be made in order to make room for new opportunities. This important choice let Emma focus on more promising projects that were more in line with current market trends and consumer tastes as she started new businesses. Emma found out with a renewed sense of purpose and energy, she started coming up with new, better product ideas. These ideas got a lot of attention right away and got good feedback. Not only did this change help her job, it also gave her faith in her ability to adapt and thrive in tough situations. Emma's story shows that giving up on a failed project can sometimes lead to new beginnings. Instead of seeing it as the end, it can be seen as a strategic shift that leads to greater success in one's career. Emma's story supports the Stoic belief that sometimes strength lies not in enduring the unbearable, but in having the courage to start over with a clear head and a renewed spirit. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "We don't have a short time to live, we waste a lot of it." He meant that every mistake and every loss can lead to future success and happiness if we learn from them and use the lessons we've learned. Giving up is both a part of life and an art. When we know when and how to give up, we will find the freedom and strength to continue our journey in a more meaningful way. So be brave and accept that letting go of what no longer serves your life and goals is the first step to a brighter and happier future. Help us grow together. Have you ever had to give up something really hard? What lessons did you learn? Please share your stories below so that others can learn. People often find it hard to stop thinking about bad things that happen to them. Sometimes thinking about these things can help you grow and understand things better. But most of the time, it just makes things worse and causes you to suffer needlessly for a long time. This happens because thinking about painful memories or complaints again makes them stronger emotionally, which can make us more stressed, anxious, and unhappy in general. Understanding how this process works can help you come up with ways to let go and move on, making negative emotions stronger. When we think about a painful memory, our brain relives the feelings that went along with it, strengthening the neural pathways that are connected to those bad feelings. Over time, this repeated triggering can make these feelings stronger and harder to get rid of. Effects on physical health. A lot of health problems, like heart disease, diabetes, and a weak immune system, have been linked to chronic worry, which usually happens when you hold on to bad feelings. The physiological stress reaction is meant to last for a short time, but if it lasts for too long, it can do a lot of damage to the body. How it affects mental health. Mental health problems like sadness and anxiety can happen when you think about bad things that happened. Focusing on what has hurt us can distort our view of reality and make us more gloomy and negative about life, which makes these problems worse. Social connections get worse. When we are upset or hurt from the past, we might not be as present and available in our interactions. This can cause confusion, strained relationships, and a feeling of being alone because our friends and family may pull away because of our bad mood. Holding back personal growth. We can't move on and enjoy new situations if we keep thinking about the past. When we keep going over old hurts, we miss out on chances to grow as people and have fun, which are both important for living a full life. By being aware of these effects, people can start to work on techniques that help them let go of past hurts, like mindfulness, therapy, and focusing on good relationships and experiences, which can lead to a healthier and happier life. Principle number 2. Don't worry that you'll never be happy again. As a citizen, you might follow orders more closely and be more willing to give up your rights for unclear reasons. Fears of being safe. As a worker, you might expect less and be less willing to take chances. In your personal life, you may lean towards safety, and this means you don't open yourself up to as many new opportunities. Living this way because you're afraid of the future is not smart. There's no denying that we live in a dangerous and unstable time in our society, and that careless actions and indifference can ruin the future of our children. The problem is that lenses of fear change what you see. They focus on the bad, exaggerate possible threats, give you different points of view, and force you to give up your core values in order to stay alive. Unknown fear limits your vision, turns off your intuition and regular sensory reflexes, and makes you more likely to act violently. Simply put, fear that isn't acknowledged and dealt with through awareness will kill you. You lose your life energy to fear as your body tenses up and your heart closes in anticipation of what's to come in a personal setting. The fear of losing happiness can also make us less free and creative in how we live. The Stoic theory is very strict, and instead of living in fear and passively taking what happens, a pragmatic lifestyle can help. Stoicism tells us to face reality calmly and carefully. To see how Stoic practices can help us deal with our fears, we need to think about what happiness means to us and how we try to find it. Sen, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said that we suffer more in our minds than in real life. This message tells us that fear is often caused by over-the-top situations and not by the truth. Stoic philosophy emphasizes focusing on what we can control, our reactions and attitudes towards events that occur. As you begin to understand that most of what you fear cannot or need not be controlled, you learn to let go. Letting go is not giving up, but a conscious choice to not let fear control your life. Imagine you have been in a relationship for many years. Initially, everything was wonderful and you and your partner seemed inseparable. However, over time, the initial joy and connection gradually faded. Arguments became more frequent and happy moments became rarer. You realize that no matter how hard you try, this relationship no longer brings peace and joy as before. Faced with this situation, you feel, when you're in this situation, you fear that you will never find someone else who understands you as well as they do. But after a lot of thought and reflection, you decide not to try to save this relationship at all costs. Instead, you decide to relax and accept that things have changed, and maybe this relationship has served its purpose in your life. This decision wasn't easy, but it has freed you from the pressure to protect and keep something that no longer exists. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who was a Stoic, said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." This shows that if we think good things and accept life as it is, we can live a happy and meaningful life no matter what. There are new good things that can happen when we don't let fear get in the way of our goals and don't try to make things go our way. No matter what, we make it easier for ourselves to be happy. This is something that Stoicism has taught us for a long time. Have you ever been in a similar situation? Tell us about how you learned to let go and the good things that happened because you did that choice. During times of sadness or hopelessness, it's normal to worry that happiness will never come back. This feeling is especially strong when there is a lot of loss or change. A lesson that says, "Don't worry that you'll never be happy again," can be very helpful. This is one way you could go about it. Getting to know emotions. Emotions are temporary. Emotions change and come and go. Like the weather, how you feel changes over time. Realizing that no emotion, not even sadness or despair, lasts forever can help you understand that feelings come and go. Acceptance. One way to deal with tough feelings is to accept them instead of fighting them. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing that your feelings are real and letting yourself feel them without judging them. Methods of thinking. Fighting. Negative thoughts. When things are hard, our thoughts can often turn negative and fixed. It is very important to learn how to recognize and fight thoughts like, "I will never be happy again." Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and other techniques can help change these kinds of ideas. Mindfulness and meditation can help you ground your thoughts in the present moment and lessen the effects of thinking about the future. You learn to be aware of your current feelings without getting attached to them. This makes you less worried about being unhappy for a long time. Making people stronger. Social support. Talking to other people can help you feel better when things are hard. Talking about your problems and feelings with family or friends you trust can help you see things more clearly and feel less alone. Finding joy in small things. When the big picture seems too much to handle, focusing on small everyday pleasures can help. This could be as easy as taking in a beautiful day, a tasty meal, or a phone call from a friend or family member. Getting ready, setting small goals. When you feel like you'll never be happy, setting small goals that you can reach can help you feel like you're making progress and have accomplished something. Some of these are as easy as doing something you enjoy every day. Hope and thinking about the future. Visualizing a better future can be a form of therapy in and of itself. Making plans for the future and picturing good things that will happen can give you hope and drive. Professional help, looking for help. If your unhappy feelings don't go away and are having a big effect on your life, it's a good idea to get help from a mental health expert. Therapists can give you tools and techniques that are made to fit your needs. This lesson stresses how important it is to be patient, kind to yourself, and use active coping techniques if you want to stop feeling unhappy all the time. It means giving yourself the tools you need to get through hard times and telling yourself that happiness is most of the time much closer than it seems. Principle number 3, give up things that aren't good for you. We may have all been through or mental pain at some point in our lives. The only difference is that some people hold on tight to those painful memories, which makes it harder for them to move on than others. It's normal to have trouble and think about your events, but there are times when you need to move on from what you can't change and focus on the things you can in the present. Tomorrow sounds easy, but we all know. The Stoics think that letting go can be one of the hardest things to do. We can do by controlling how we respond to tough situations. This makes it clear that inner freedom and true happiness are what Epicus taught us is that what bothers us is not things themselves, but what we think about them. This knowledge makes it possible for the art of letting go, which means not giving up. On goals while letting go of things that don't belong to for us. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or not caring about Stoics. Believe that letting go is a sign of knowledge and self-control. Mark Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote the following. This advice really hits home. You have the power to change your story at any time. This means that we can all change our lives by changing how we see things. To what's going on around us, Anna? A young entrepreneur was excited at first when she started a business project alongside a dear friend. This project needed not only money, but also a mental commitment and energy from both of them, really believing in their idea and relationship. Anna put her whole heart into it, with the hope that it would grow. Turned into a well-known and popular brand over the next few months, and each quarter brought in a poor business report, despite using a number of plans and changing how they interact with customers. The results did not. The project stopped moving forward and kept failing everyone. Anna felt like she was fighting in the dark because of the results. She got tired and down, not sure how to change things during those long nights of not sleeping. At night, Anna read a book about Stoic theory that a friend had given her. With whom she had started a business, she started reading, and slowly. She understood that even though she couldn't change how her project turned out, she came to terms with the fact that she could choose how to react to these events. Not all efforts result in the success one hopes for. After giving it a lot of thought, Anna made her decision. It was hard to decide to give up on the idea, but important for her to get away from the constant stress and health stress. She changed her job to one she was really interested in, beauty, where she felt more in charge and could handle praise. Meaningfully, Anna not only found peace with this change, but she also success by putting what you've learned from Stoicism into practice. She found her by letting go of what she couldn't handle. Inner strength and made a fresh start on a new journey with faith. Stoic philosophy says that having faith and letting go is not life skills are important, but they can also be art if we can accept that nothing is out of our power, and we own everything. This is where we really start. Time is everything on the way to freedom and happiness, and every day what you deserve will come to you when you're ready. Every moment, let your heart open and let go of things that aren't important, and feel lighter and more free to enjoy the good things that are coming your way. Go your way if you think Anna's story and the lessons from Stoicism are important. That we shared. Please click like and tell your friends about this movie. And family, this not only helps them find peace and a new path in life, but also helps our channel deliver more useful material to help everyday people get bigger. Understanding why giving up habits, relationships, or patterns that aren't good for your health is important is the main goal of this section. Point: stress that change is an important part of growing and developing as a person. Finding out what doesn't help you. Part 1. Points to talk about. Tell the difference between habits that are good for you and habits that are bad for you. Think about your own thoughts and experiences to figure out what might be stopping you. Introduce the idea of an emotional inventory to help people find bad influences. Part 2. The good things about letting go. Points to talk about. Less stress and worry led to better mental health, better physical health by making choices that are better for your lifestyle. Focusing on more positive interactions has helped improve ties with others. More happiness and productivity in both domestic and professional life. Part 3. Realistic ways to let go. Plan of action. Being mindful and thinking. Check in with your feelings and events often to stay aware of how they affect you. Set clear goals. Write down what you want to achieve by letting go and how you plan to get there. Get help. Talk to people who can help you, like friends, family, or experts. Gradual changes. To make sure that changes will last, start with small ones. Celebrating milestones. To keep going, be sure to acknowledge and enjoy each victory. Part 4. Getting past problems. Points to talk about. On the inside and the outside, dealing with obstacles. Taking care of your loss or discomfort during the change. Ways to keep going when things aren't moving quickly. In conclusion, remember the main points. Encourage yourself to keep growing as a person and re-evaluating what's best for you. Things to do and exercises. Exercise 1. Make a list of all the people, things, and habits that you do that you think are bad for your health, and mark the ones that you feel strongly about. Exercise 2. Make a plan for how you will get rid of or lessen one bad impact in the next month. Exercise 3. Talk about your experiences and ways to let go of bad things in your life with a partner or in a group talk. This organized lesson can help people understand their actions and the results of their decisions. It can also give them useful tips and support to make positive changes. Principle number 4. No matter how hard it is, you have to accept the truth. Finally, let's talk about Derek's past as an active worker in the IT field before we get to the fourth concept. But people with technical skills started to notice changes at work over time and found that their efforts weren't valued as much as they used to be. Before, people often didn't listen to his ideas in meetings, and when they did work, he didn't get much or any credit. This was very different from the early years, when every successful project was praised, even if it had trouble connecting with other people. Derek didn't want to feel like he was just watching, so he started working hard. He hoped that by doing a better job, his bosses would notice him and he would become more valuable to the company. But no matter how hard they tried, the management's view and discretion did not change. Derek finally had to make a tough choice. A vision. He quit his job and looked for places where people thought he was important. He did it even though it was hard because he knew it would make him a better person and leader. Derek knew he needed to grow in a place that cared about and noticed his strengths and skills. Her choice to leave made a positive difference in her work life, giving her new chances to move up in her career and be happy at work. We learn from Derek's story. People sometimes see everything in life through rose-colored eyes. They often don't pay attention to the bad things that happen to them, but to be truly happy, all you have to do is take off your rose-colored glasses and accept the world as it is. People who live in broken societies know that you can't always get what you want or please everyone. This is true even if you try to hide the hard parts of life. People around you will always be happy. We are taught to be happy, stay away from negativity, and focus on what makes us happy. But Stoic philosophy tells us to face hard truths and accept what hurts. This is not a call to feel sorry for ourselves. It's a reminder of how powerful acceptance can be when we have to deal with things we can't change, like failure, loss, or even rejection by others. It seems like it doesn't mean we should hide our feelings, but we should also not let them run our lives. Not only does telling the truth keep us from making mistakes, it also makes us brave and ready for the difficulties that lie ahead. When we know that something can't be changed or isn't good anymore, don't waste time and energy on it. Instead, put your attention on making new friends and setting goals that will help you. Our daily lives. It's not always the end when you lose something. Sometimes it's the start of something new. What we let go of makes room for something new and beautiful, whether it's a friendship, a job, or a belief. We can find freedom and happiness in new places, just like Derek. Things should not stop you from accepting the truth, no matter how hard it is. This is the first thing that needs to be done to get real freedom. Accepting the truth, no matter how hard it is a key part of growing as a person and being emotionally strong. There are times in life when what we want or expect doesn't match up with what actually happens. In these situations, we are put to the test on whether we can face and accept the truth instead of trying to hide or avoid it. Accepting the truth, even when it's painful, can help us gain important insights and learn more about the world and ourselves. Awareness and acknowledgement. Recognizing that hard facts exist is the first thing that needs to be done to accept them. This means being aware of how things really are without letting biases or wishful thought cloud your view. It's about facing the facts straight on, which is necessary for solving any problem in a good way. Emotional strength. It takes a lot of emotional strength and resilience to accept hard facts. It can be painful to face facts that make us question our views or expectations. Building resilience through self-care, helpful relationships, and healthy ways to deal with stress can make this process easier to handle. Growth and learning. Every hard truth you face is also a chance to grow. You can learn new things about life, other people, and yourself when you accept the truth of a situation. This can help you grow as a person and gain a deeper understanding of how complicated life is. Freedom and relief. Being in denial can be hard. When you accept the truth, you feel a deep sense of freedom and comfort. It frees you from being stuck in doubt or confusion and lets you move on. This freedom can help people make better decisions and feel better about their mental health. Empowerment through action. When you accept the truth, you gain the power to act in the right way. Being honest about what is going on in your life lets you make choices that are good for you and others. Taking this kind of initiative is often the key to getting past problems and making good changes. When you accept the truth, no matter how hard it is, you give yourself the tools you need to live your life with honesty and ethics. This acceptance not only helps you grow as a person, but it also makes your conversations and relationships with other people better. Principle number 5. When one door closes, another door opens. An old saying that means, when one door closes, another door opens, means that things will get better. It means that when one chance or opportunity stops, another one often comes up out of the blue. This saying helps you stay strong and have a good attitude when things go wrong, or when you're disappointed. Accepting that things will change. Life will always change, and sometimes that means doors closing or chances ending. Accepting change instead of fighting it can lead to fresh starts and new opportunities. Chance in a hazy mask. What looks like a failure or a loss can sometimes be a blessing in disguise. When a door is closed, it may be time to focus on possibilities that are more in line with your true path or potential. Maintaining hope. It's important to keep a positive and hopeful attitude when you're going through hard times or setbacks. Believing that new chances will come up keeps you inspired and ready to see them and take them when they do. Resilience and adaptability. This proverb stresses how important it is to be able to bounce back from setbacks and change to new situations. These traits are necessary for personal improvement and being successful when things go wrong. Being proactive. Instead of idly lamenting a closed door, it's better to go out and find new ones. When you take the initiative and make your own chances, the results are often even better than the chance you missed. Bernie Marcus, 49, brought his usual briefcase to work at the company every day. After more than 20 years of hard work, he had finally earned a spot as a business manager. All he had to do was keep working hard for another 11 years, and he could retire and start collecting his pension. But that day would be his last day working there. "You're fired. What did I do wrong?" he asked himself. Bernie Marcus didn't understand what was being said. "No, you didn't do anything wrong. The company is just growing very slowly, and the board has decided to lay off some staff," the manager said. Bernie Marcus was one of many people in the city who had lost their jobs and had to pay a lot of heavy bills. He had to find a new way to make money, which was hard for him. During this time, he often went to Los Angeles and sat in a roadside cafe for hours to relieve his boredom, confusion, and huge mental stress. Then one day, he ran into an old friend and former co-worker, Arthur Blan, who was now a manager at the same company and had been fired. They comforted each other and talked about the future. "Hey, why don't we start our own business?" Blan suggested. Later, this company became famous in the US as the American Home Storage Company. Then it spread around the world. You see, the American Home Storage Company's miracle started with Bernie Marcus telling his employees, "You're fired," in the spring of 1978. It took 20 years for the company to grow from a small, little-known business to a Fortune 500 company with 775 stores, 150,000 employees, and $30 billion in sales every year. One thing you may have heard is that when God closes one door, he opens another. Move on. Without regrets, there is always more than one door open. All you have to do is find and open the right one. In the context of Stoic philosophy, this saying has a greater meaning that teaches us about accepting changes as they come and not fighting them. Stoic philosophers such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius believed that acceptance and self-control are important no matter what. They thought that how we react to something is more important than what happens to us. For example, when a door closes, we should not feel hopeless and stuck. Instead, we should keep looking and open new doors. This is not only spiritual advice, but also a useful way to keep growing and finding meaning in life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, Accept the things that fate binds you and love the people that fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. This is an important part of Stoic philosophy because it helps us deal with failures and problems not only with strength, but also with gratitude. Calmness and self-control are not about surrender, but about actively embracing life with all its ups and downs. We looked at Stoic philosophy and the art of letting things happen naturally without pressuring them. Hopefully this video taught you how to use the principle of non-attachment in your daily life, which will help you deal with problems calmly and effectively. How do you find these Stoic principles useful? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit like and share it with your friends. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe so you don't miss any shows. We always try to give you deep and useful content that will help you grow spiritually and personally. Keep watching the videos at the end of this one to continue your journey in seeking the Stoic philosophy for self-improvement. Let's keep exploring this rich philosophy of life together. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.